Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the next 3 months, July through September of 2025. You have this Connect with the Eternity Within card. It says, let yourself be held by love. You have this Let It Go card. It says, let go of all that no longer serves you. Yes, Aries, I think that for you specifically, I feel it is an amazing time to let go of things that no longer serve you. I'm not surprised to see that at all. You have Neptune and Saturn in your sign, and then both of those planets are going to retrograde out of your sign this year, but before officially moving back into your sign in January and February of next year. Definitely a good time to let go of things that no longer serve you. It's like you're meant to be bigger and better. Neptune is kind of like an illusion, right? But sometimes Neptune is a good illusion. Sometimes Neptune says, maybe you have an impossible dream, but if there was ever a time where you could make it happen, it would be right frickin' now. I think that in a lot of ways, it's a blessing that we have Saturn kind of kicking off Neptune in Aries, because normally Neptune would just be delusion, and there would be, it's like, who the hell knows if you'd be able to accomplish something or not. But having that Saturn there, I think, is bringing the needed, discipline to make it like some sort of crazy ass dream a reality. So, I would get to work. You start here in your current general energies for the next 3 months with the Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, and the Devil. One thing I will say is a lot of people have had the Devil in the July readings and also in this set of readings as well. We have this Mercury retrograde coming up on July 17th, and it will be going till August 12th. So, I don't know. I think that, but, I don't know, your reading is a little bit different because it's saying to me that it's like you are getting an opportunity to get into something that is not toxic. You have the Two of Cups at the end. So if you want love, some of you could be getting into a situation that really isn't toxic, something that isn't bad, right? Something that is good. And so I would pay attention to that. The Hierophant can represent blessings, but again, with one thing I will also say, and it's kind of obvious to me, is that with Neptune going from Pisces to Aries, Neptune in Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional beliefs. And so you could just be changing your beliefs with the Hierophant. Sometimes I feel the Hierophant, I don't look at him as bad. I just think sometimes he can be a little bit stuck in the box, right? And he has a set way of believing things, and that's it. He's not open to anything else. But I kind of feel like you're opening up to new belief systems, especially in regards to your finances, which I think could be good. But also love. I kind of feel good about love and money in this reading. Even if you're in a connection, even if you already make good money, again, I think that you could be just upgrading beliefs around those things, and obviously that will lead to an improvement, which is good, right? Next, you have the Nine of Cups. Intuitively, I feel like you need something to wish for is what's popping into my head. That's the message I'm getting off of this card. I'm not getting, wish fulfillment. I think it could lead to wish fulfillment, but it's saying to me, you need something to go for. And I think that happens in life sometimes where we get to a place where we just don't know what to do next. And so I kind of feel that, especially during the retrograde, July through August, I think would be an amazing time for you to look for something that excites you. And again, it's okay if something doesn't excite you right now, Aries. I don't feel this for all of you. I just feel it for some of you where it's maybe you're not feeling very excited, or it's just it's you need something. You need something that fires you up again. And this could be a direction. It could be an idea for your business. It could be an idea for love or your health or whatever. It's I feel like you're looking for that excitement. And it's you need something to wish for or to go for. It could even be something material. It's maybe there's a car you want, or maybe there's a home that you want to purchase or whatever. It's almost like having the thing, the material thing to work towards would be very beneficial for you at this time. I don't think that's always true, of course, but right now I think it is. Next, you have the Devil. I would be very careful of toxic energy, past toxic people at this time, just in general, just because it basically has come up for everyone in the July monthly readings and also in this set of readings as well. So we really need to be careful of people who are selling us a false bill of goods, is what I would say to you. Because you go up to the moon, to the Three of Swords. It's this could be a person who's trying to sell you an illusion. I would also be careful, if you make any investments or anything like that, right, with those cards there, Aries, right? It's this could be a person, you have the Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, But, this kind of looks to me like a person who could be like, oh, like, give me $1 million and I'll turn it into $10 billion. Probably not true, Aries, right? So I would be very careful of investments, of, investing money in any of these things. I've been saying this since 2016 because of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus, we should not just invest money. I've literally been saying this for years, many years, because it's like we shouldn't just be giving people money or anything like that. We should be doing our research, especially when it comes to investments. Uranus and Taurus hates get rich quick. Like, there is no such thing as get rich quick. I literally predicted this before Uranus and Taurus on one of my lives. I said, I guarantee you we will see record high lottery numbers. And I was not wrong. Right? I literally predicted this years ago because of Uranus and Taurus. It was obvious to me because Uranus and Taurus hates get rich quick, which includes the lottery. Uranus and Taurus doesn't want us to get lucky. And why? And the reason why is because if you win the lottery but you have bad money habits, it's just going to be like water pouring through your hands. Uranus and Taurus wants true security. So I think people think they want to win the lottery, but it's like, why do you think they have the curse of the lottery? It's because if you don't correct those money blocks and those other things, then it's just going to be like water through your hands, right? With the you cannot make this up. With the Hierophant, you have the Death card. I was literally talking about your changing belief system. Whatever beliefs you're changing, I feel could be good for you here, Aries, and it's just good. I really have nothing to add here. It's like whatever beliefs are changing is a good thing. With the Nine of Cups, yes, you have the Four of Cups. Too many disappointments from the past, so I think you have to let go of those disappointments. It's almost like maybe you need something to believe in as well here, Aries, with these cards, the Hierophant and the Nine of Cups. Like, intuitively, I feel that that's not what those cards represent, but it's like, if you have something to believe in, I think that could also make you feel more motivated. I don't really feel too bad about your motivation in this reading. Like, if I tap into your energy here, I feel like you are kind of like motivated. I feel like you're like, I just had the word bus pop into my head. It's like, instead of being a train, I feel like you're like a little bit of a bus, but like in a good way. It's like you're a Greyhound bus. You're going from New York to Los Angeles or something. And it's like, yeah, maybe you're moving a little bit slower than a train or a plane, but it's like you're getting there, right? Like, I feel like you're going in the right direction, but it's also like you're enjoying the adventure as well. I don't know. There you go. Take how it resonates. With the Devil, you have the Justice card, your opposite sign, right? So is Libra, of course, and you have the Justice card, which is Libra. One thing I would say is, like, I would look at balance. Like, I think a lot of people during Neptune and Pisces could have been tricked by this. And, we have to realize we tricked ourselves, right? And I'm not, like, a big fan of, like, I don't believe in victim blaming or anything like that. But sometimes we do have to look at, like, where we tricked ourselves, especially in relationships. So it's like you might have tricked yourself into being in a relationship that you thought was actually better than it actually was. But here's the problem with Neptune and Pisces, which we've had, is that you can be in a relationship where the highs are really high. It's like, it feels really freaking good when it's good. And it kind of like masks how the relationship actually is, which is bad. And so, we have to be honest about the truth. And, but I think you're kind of like returning to balance here. Although I also think that some of you are healing from a past connection or a past situation where maybe you feel like you were tricked, or maybe you feel like you were, bamboozled into something. And, I feel that a lot of you could be healing from it. Again, personally, I like the Three of Swords because it can be a card that says you are healing. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Into Me I See card and the Broken Open card. Yes, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me because I also think that, number one, I think it's an amazing time for love. The funny thing is that this 3 months, this set of readings, there has not been a lot of love in the readings. You have a little bit, and most people have had like a little bit. But again, it's a general reading. Love is always available to us. But this type of idea has been very similar, where it's like, I think a lot of people could be getting more intimate with themselves, like understanding their own needs on a deeper level, understanding like how to express their own needs and their own desires. That Broken Open card is kind of like shining what makes you special. And I kind of have said this over the past few months that one thing I think that we will all need to do during Neptune and Saturn and Aries, especially next year, but also right now, is we need to not be afraid of speaking up. We need to shout. If we have something that we feel like we should share with the world, we need to let it out and put it out there, no matter how crazy the idea is. So I think it's time for you to share, Aries, as well. You have the Two of Swords, the Moon, and the Ten of Pentacles. Two of Swords, like this or that thinking, when there's probably another way of doing things. Again, we have Uranus going into Gemini. Uranus in Gemini is going to be like the TV show Severance, right? And so I don't know if you haven't seen the TV show Severance, it's pretty weird. Kind of like weird. I don't know if I liked it, but I couldn't stop watching it at the same time. So I don't know, one of those shows. I liked it. Kind of. But the whole point of Severance is that they live in the real world, and then they have this surgery kind of that when they go to work, it's like they have their work person and their real person. It's the same person, but what they forget about work, like it makes them, kind of blank out. And so they work, but they have their real life as well, right? And that's what I feel like Uranus and Gemini will kind of be like. It's almost like we have these two worlds, and it's like at times we might forget about one or the other. It's like we're trying to choose what world we actually want to live in. And, I don't know. I think this is a decision everyone is going to have to make. You have the Moon. The Moon can represent fears, fantasies, illusions. Again, I would get very clear. Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is very simple. I think Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap. All you have to do is do your research. Don't just accept things at face value, right? Like if someone, especially involving money here, Aries, if someone is like, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is, but even that isn't true. It's like sometimes during, Mercury retrograde, it's like something can seem too good to be too good to be true is what I'm trying to spit out here. It's like maybe you meet a person and maybe they talk a lot and they say that they do a lot of things, and you might say to yourself, I don't know if this person is telling the truth, right? So what should we do? Well, the answer is justice. We should look at the frickin' evidence. If a person says something to us, do they actually do it or not? Can you see the evidence in front of your eyes, in front of your face? And if the answer is yes, that's all you need to know. Same thing with investments. If your cousin comes to you and is like, oh my God, I just found this new cryptocurrency that's going to go to $1 billion. No, it is definitely not. I can promise you that. You will lose your life savings to your dumbass cousin, right? So don't do that, number one. But also maybe you should. Maybe they're right. But maybe what you need to do is you need to make sure that you understand the investment in the first place. Where people get in trouble is they invest in things and they have no clue what they invested in. So I think as long as you do your research, you'll be fine, right? The Ten of Pentacles is great wealth. We are in a very lucky time where we could really be building wealth and security. And, this is a card of building and leaving a legacy, which is something that you will do forever. So we all have a great opportunity to do that, but we really have to do that with the Ten of Pentacles. And that's what I would do there. With the Two of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands can be like carrying a heavy burden. He is carrying the Ten of Wands in his life, Aries. But personally, I like the Ten of Wands. He's very close to his home in the background here. So he is about to release his burden. And I feel a lot of you could be about to release your burden or, heavy burdens you've been carrying. With the Moon, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about taking the lead, which is going to come up for you a lot, Aries, because you are in Aries. and Neptune and Saturn is going to require you to take the lead more. I feel like this is saying it would be a good time for you to leave a comfort zone. Again, I think it's easy to fall back into past patterns because they're comfortable, right? Even if they're not right. I feel like the Two of Wands is saying like, no, it is time for you to go, do something else. And with the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Star. Yes, make a wish. You need something to wish for, is what the reading is saying to me with that Nine of Cups. Like, you need a North Star. The Star is about having a North Star, having that guiding light, that one thing you aim towards, that you accomplish so that you can be successful. And so I think you need that, like, one thing to work towards, or like that one thing to accomplish. And, I think having that guiding light would be very good for you with this card. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this transition card and this nourish card. I think you need to, I just think in general, people should be nourishing themselves more at this time. We have the South Node in Virgo as well, and the South Node in Virgo can definitely make it so that we have to like nourish and care for ourselves more. And so you have the Three of Swords as well. The Three of Swords is a card of healing. So, the more you nourish yourself, the better you can heal. I do think you're going through like a transition phase. You have the Death card and the Hierophant. You're changing your beliefs, right? You have the Three of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Three of Swords can represent a separation. But I really feel like this is more you focusing on healing. Even right next to it, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Four of Swords, which says you are healing. So I think a lot of you could just be going through some sort of healing period or some sort of releasing period. I think it would be a great time to do that. The Nourish card could say it would be a great time to give yourself time to heal as well, especially from the middle of June to the middle of August when we have the Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrogrades are amazing times to heal. They are amazing times to process information, to process things that you've been through. So, I think it would be a great time for you if you need to process anything like a past breakup or, a past heartbreak. A heartbreak can be anything, right? Could be business, could be work, whatever. I think it would be an amazing time to process those feelings. You have the Four Cups. Four Cups can represent past disappointments. It has been disappointed 3 times before, and now he's being offered this new cup, but he's not accepting it into his life because he's been disappointed a bunch of times before. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about realizing that if you are getting any new offers, especially in love, that it probably will go differently than the past because you have learned. The trick with the Three of Cups is we have to apply what we learned in these 3 cups to this 4th cup, and it will be successful, but we have to do that. And so I would definitely do that. Number 2, I would be very careful of anyone who is coming back from the past, especially if they left you for another person. Again, 4 cups can represent a person who thought the grass would be greener on the other side. But again, this would represent basically not going back to that person. And again, a lot of people have been getting messages like this over the past, over this set of readings. So definitely seems to be like one of those retrogrades that could be bringing exes back. You have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is like slow and steady progress, but I do feel very good about this. I feel like whatever seeds you're planting right now, Aries, like keep going. This is definitely saying don't stop working on whatever you're working on, because I think there could be a lot of success and growth and abundance coming in for you based off of the things that you're working on, which is great. I also just think that there could be kind of like a lot of growth coming in for you, I feel. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this, Aries, just in general. With the 3 of Swords, you have the Chariot. The Chariot can be a victory or charging towards a victory. The Chariot is also about setting yourself apart, Kind of the message I'm getting here is that I feel like you need to say, like, this is no longer who I am. Like, sometimes I think we just have to make that choice with the 3 of Swords. We just have to say, like, this heartbreak is not me. And this situation is not me. He's leaving the city behind him behind. And, that's the whole point of the Chariot. It's about setting yourself apart, being different and, being different in some way. And taking control of your life and going and having a victory. So I feel like that's what you need to do with this Chariot energy. And with the 4 of Cups, you have the Lovers. There you go. Definitely new love coming in for you. It could be an air sign. You have Libra, Aquarius, Gemini right here. It could be a Taurus. You have Pisces. You have Capricorn. You have Cancer. Could be any sign. I just listed all 12. So definitely could be a very strong connection. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess. Very intuitive time for you. You always get these intuitive cards with me, Aries. So, anything that your intuition is telling you to do, I would do it. The other thing about the High Priestess is that, she has to believe that she can accomplish more. The card itself is a card of intuition, but she also has no roof over her head. And so it kind of says that she has unlimited potential. It is a card of potential, and there's no limits to what she can accomplish if she sets her mind to it. So I feel like you need to believe that you can accomplish a lot more in your life, or that you can do a lot more in your life, and if you believe it, you will do it. Plain and simple, but you really have to believe it. I think a great way to figure this one out is to just push yourself just a tiny little bit, right? Like anything that you're trying to grow, just go just a small amount past the point where you would normally give up and go a little bit further, and then keep doing that. And eventually you will figure out what your limits are, and that's kind of what am getting off of that card. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Capricorn card. It says challenges. It says it will not be an easy path, but if you build discipline, you will achieve your goal. Yes, with Saturn in your sign for the next 2.5, 3 years, it's going to be all about discipline for you. Aries, you have this Bear Tree card. It says don't waste your energy or efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. Yes, we all need to be careful of this right now because of the Neptune illusion. Because Neptune will be retrograding back into Pisces. I think that there could be some things that come up between now and the end of the year, really, where it's like it looks good on the surface, kind of, but really it's something that isn't bearing fruit. So we need to, again, I've been pretty much telling everyone that we really need to make sure that we're paying attention to the evidence. As long as we do that, we will be fine. You have the Four Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. The Four Swords can be a card of resting, relaxing, and recovering, of course. He is hoping and praying for a blessing. If you've been hoping and praying for some sort of blessing, I literally feel that some sort of blessing could be coming in for you here, Aries, with the Two of Cups. I feel like it's going to be something that makes you very happy, something that leads to a lot of growth and abundance and success. So, I don't know, I feel pretty good about it in general. You have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups can represent love, of course, so there could be a perfect match coming in for you in love with the Two of Cups. I feel like it's something that will make you very happy and something that will lead to a lot of happiness. The Two of Cups can also represent communication, and so if you're looking for love, I do feel that there could be love coming in for you, and just in general with the Lovers and the Two of Cups, but might start as communication is where I was going with that. Two of Cups is also usually someone who's different than your usual type. They're meant to look very different because they are different. So if you are attracting love, you could be attracting something different. You have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords can be like a victory coming in for you. So I feel like there could be a very strong victory coming in for you here with the Ace of Swords. The sword here is above the mountains, and the sword can basically say that you're overcoming some sort of obstacle. So I do feel like some of you could be overcoming an obstacle. Also, by the way, if you are attracting love, we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. I look at these two as better divine counterparts than the Emperor and the Empress. They're kind of like divinely guided towards each other, and it's kind of like a divine connection. So there definitely could be a divine connection coming in for you. The Ace of Swords is also a victory. With the Four of Swords, you have the Ten of Cups. Yes, Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. Really good. I really feel that you're going to be feeling a lot better by September. Like, I'm not saying that things are going to be bad between now and then. I'm just saying, like, I kind of feel like this type of feeling really comes in closer to September, the end of the quarter, basically. Also amazing for love. Definitely could represent a person who wants to have a family. So, there you go. With the Two of Cups, yeah, someone's spying on someone here. I don't know. I feel like some of you are spying on a person, so... I don't know. Learn how to flirt, Aries, or maybe you need to like slide into someone's DMs here or something. But someone has to speak up. Obviously, if it's not you, then it's them. And I don't know. It's coming up in the good stuff, so I wouldn't really worry about it. I would say this person definitely has air. They probably are an air sign. And if they're not an air sign, I would say they have a lot of air in their chart or something. So there you go. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of growth and expansion. So there could be a lot of growth and expansion coming in for you here with the Three of Wands. I feel like you're also kind of like going to find victories by doing new things. The Ace of Swords is laser-like focus, but the Ace of Swords, sometimes we have to cut one thing out to have something better. It's coming up in the good stuff, but it is a good thing. So, again, if you're removing things from your life that no longer serve you, I feel like this would be very good for you here, Aries. It's like you are, cutting things out that no longer serve you, and you're moving in a new direction towards, something bigger and better, which is great. Next, you have this grasshopper. It says, situation in the balance that requires careful handling. I feel like you've been doing this for a long time. Balancing things out. I kind of feel like you're done being a balancer, in some ways. It's like, but like, because you have learned how to balance, right? It's almost like if you have been a balancer in life, or if you feel like you're always the person that has to balance something out, it's because like the universe wants you to be a balancer, and I feel like you are learning how to do that. You have this tree. It says affairs with your family. Yeah, there seems to be something going on with family this quarter as well. Same with last quarter, which is really weird. But you have the Ten of Cups. I feel like it'll be good. The Ten of Cups is very happy. A lot of you could be healing things with family. Also, wouldn't surprise me if some of you are moving closer to family as well, just based off your astrology as well. Jupiter entering into Cancer. That's one thing that could be making this happen for you, Aries. So, I don't know. Wouldn't really surprise me. You have this crib. It says birth or conception of a child or an enterprise. Yes, I think a lot of you are starting new things. You have the Ace of Swords. Your beliefs are changing as well. Because your beliefs are changing, you're moving in new directions. You are starting something new. There you go. You have this Lily card. It says spiritual love on it. So a lot of you could be attracted. Yeah, I mean, clearly, I literally said that. Hierophant and the High Priestess. This would be a very spiritual connection. It feels like divinely guided to me, just in general. So I feel like there could be a very solid connection coming in. And it could be a very, the two of you could be very spiritual together. You have this younger man card that says dealing to relationships in the younger man. You have this cat card that says a two-faced friend. I would be careful if you feel like a person is being two-faced. They probably are. I think you have learned like who is right for you, who is wrong for you, and I would really pay attention to that energy and make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the right people at this time, Aries. And if you do that, things will go well. But pretty good, Aries. I like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.